Hey, my Taurus babies, what's happening? This is going to be Taurus end of the year read, or aka December 2019 read, but actually I'm gonna read for the end of the year. I know for a lot of people this time of the year holds a lot of things, a lot of memories for people, a lot of hope for other people. So we're just gonna call it the end of the year read, and we're gonna let it do what it do. It'll be the regular 9-card spread, current, for recent, past, current energy, and future energy. Kind of slide into the new year a little bit. Some of y'all got decisions to make, that I know. And some of you are anxious. You want to hurry up and do all of this and get it out the way. And unfortunately, if you take that attitude with this of trying to hurry up and do something just to get it out of the way, it's going to backfire, because you're going to miss something. So I know y'all will cuss me out, inbox me talking about what the hell and what for. But you got to work through this. This has truly been a year of working through processes, analyzing how we do things, how we think about things, how we think about other people. And so this last little, of course, the last mile is always the hardest, the longest, and the worst. But we made it through one of the worst retrograde periods I can think of in recent memory, Mercury retrograde. Even the shadow is just fucked up. We should be coming up out of the shadow here in another 2, 3, 4 days. By the end of this week, we should be fairly square of Mercury retrograde for the time being. But the other anxiety that you're beginning to feel is Uranus getting ready to go direct on January 12th. So, you know, if it ain't one thing, it's another. And that's how it is. Always some grease in the damn game. So let's get this kicked off. We are going to do overall energy for this one. I know for the 2020 reads, I haven't been doing the overall, but we will do overall energy for this. So for Taurus, for the month of December, the end of the year, we have accelerated motion and choose wisely. Ain't that what we've been talking about? The fuck? Recent past, trapped in fear, foundation and achievements, and the I can or the solar plexus chakra. Current energy, disruption, centerpiece, challenge, emotional loss, and patience and planning. Your future energy, hope, as it should be for the new year, spiritual strength, and the waiting game. Well, hold on. That done kicked up some stuff. From this deck, overall energy, the accelerated motion is pulling the 10 of coins. And choose wisely is pulling the world card. Alright. Recent past. And a reminder, do my cards straight up, but don't do reversals. So, for recent past, trapped in fear is pulling the devil. That's that karmic shit. Foundation and achievements, pulling the high priestess. Solar plexus pulls the 7 of coin. Current energy, disruption pulls the hermit, centerpiece. Emotional loss pulls the tower. Patience and planning, 8 of wands. Hope card pulls 8 of coins. Spiritual strength pulls the wheel of fortune. And the waiting game pulls the options card, 7 of cups. Alright, Taurus, let's take a look at who I see here. So your overall energy, this is what we're talking about. Your overall energy, the top end of this accelerated motion, y'all are looking for accelerated motion. I'm with you. This waiting game bullshit, this shit down here, y'all can take this and put it where the sun does not shine. Whatever orifice you'd like to choose, I don't care. But this here, I'm tired. I've been waiting all year. I feel you, Taurus. I'm right with you. It's like, damn, can we just hurry up already? But the front end is, it's really, it is accelerated motion, but more specifically, it's the anticipation, because you can feel shit. any of you that have just had any kind of recent changes, shakeups, maybe just from a variety of topics, new lovers appearing and not the usual kind you usually be trying to holler at somebody else looking totally different, but you vibing like that. Maybe a job promotion that, you know, like, damn, that job didn't even exist last year. It's that kind of energy. It's that it's here, but it ain't exactly what you thought it was going to be. And actually, in some instances, it's better. And this is the anticipation. You can see this shit happening, and it's unfolding so damn slowly. It's like watching paint dry. You heard me. I feel you. But we are supposed to be very patient creatures. And I think what people don't understand about Taurus is we're patient when we can see things happening. But when we can't see shit happening, you know, I can feel the earth rumble, but I don't see no cracks or fissures in the ground. I got issues. I got issues. I need to see some concrete shit. And however this is resonating, as Grandmama said, eat fish, leave the bones. You may be in different parts of this. You may be at the beginning, you may be in the middle, you may be at the end, you may be not even at the beginning, but you can see the beginning, that kind of shit. But we know the reward is coming. We know, and the 10 is really about the total completion done, you in it. And this is how we're feeling. This is our overall energy. The back end of our overall energy, we have decisions to make. I started out, before I pulled the cards, talking about decision making and going through the fucking process. This is where we are. And we know we need to choose wisely. For many of us, this is about entering a different phase of life. And it's about not just choosing a partner or a lover. It's also about choosing maybe where you want to live, where you want to work, if you're trying to get a promotion or if you're trying to downsize. So a lot of people are in a lot of different phases of decision making, but we're all trying to choose wisely, and this is predominant feeling for our overall energy. With the World card on top of that, of course, you just finish up the 8, the fuck it, put the 21 on there and just be done. The completion of this cycle. This is really what this is about, and the knowledge that we are taking forth from this period. That's kind of where we are, and we're trying to apply some of what we've learned into making these decisions. So this is the back end of our overall energy. That, as I call it, is the shit that's really holding you down. It's the shit that's just right in your gut, keeping your feet planted to the ground, that you are constantly thinking about. Whereas this is more on the top layer. You know you're trying to move forward. You know the reward is there. You know you got a good support system. You know you're coming into resources, but you just the anticipation, and that's all of that on top. Recent past, the devil on top of the trap, fear. A lot of you are, or you have come out of toxic karmic situations. You've cut ties for whatever reason, and it had you trapped in fear, trying to figure out, especially if you were dealing with twin flame or soulmate energy. I know I don't talk about these a lot. I throw them around and kind of just throw those out there, but we have a belief that if we ever meet our twin flame, or if we ever encounter our soulmate, now I ain't talking about that superficial Valentine's Day type bullshit. You know the one that you got chemistry with that's off the chart, and before you can finish a sentence, they're finishing that person. A lot of times we think that because we've met this person, we're supposed to spend all of and the rest of our life with them. And sometimes it's not the case. Sometimes the mirror of the twin flame or the soulmate comes into your life. And I believe, especially on a soulmate level, you can have more than one. Twin flame, not so much. I think you got one twin flame and that's the end of that. But sometimes it's not about getting into a personal or romantic relationship with this person. Sometimes those people serve as guideposts and are actually giving us either a heralding or a warning of something to be cautious of or to be excited about, or in some cases, maybe even both. You probably haven't heard a lot of readers talk about it that way, but that's real talk. Sometimes it's not always about the romantic relationship. We always are trying to tie everything up into, oh, love me and don't love me. And sometimes it's not even about that. Yeah, the love should be there, but a lot of times they're there to teach us and show us something. And it ain't got a damn thing to do with feel good, sex, kissing, how long you gonna be together, none of that. It has much more to do with your soul's purpose and just the universe in general. So I'm saying that a lot of you may have been trapped in fear, trying to make a decision on should I stay with this person because they're my twin flame and my soulmate, da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. But you just couldn't move, didn't want to move because you didn't know, you knew if you got with this person, they had a lot of flaws. Come on now. And twin mate, soul flame, whatever, still got flaws, still got issues to deal with. And for some of you, fuck guys, yeah, we own it like that, but not like that. And that happens. And so if for those of you that are in that situation where you have a karmic tie with someone, but you had to cut it loose because there's just too much other crazy bullshit nonsense going on, take a few steps back. Yeah, that card right there. And take a look at the eyeball. And not just the pupil in the eyeball, but take a look at the whole face of the situation. And in context to everything that's going on in your life at that time, what was that person really there for? What were they really there for? At any rate, recent past, that trapped in fear, and it moved you into, whether you know it or not, building a firmer foundation. So however this first part resonated with you, if you stuck around with your karmic person and you're trying to make a go of it, of course, naturally. Those of you that didn't, it's the same thing. You didn't get with that person because you didn't feel like they were going to be able to provide the 10 of cups, the rainbow, the coffee maker, the 2 cars and 4 dogs, whatever it is, it's happy home to you. That's you there. And it had a lot to do with your perspective. I said that, yeah. And how much you felt like maybe you needed to or didn't need to manipulate the situation. I've heard some Tauruses tell me here in the recent weeks that, they felt like they were just doing too much. Too much praying, too much hoping, too much wishing, too much winking, too much flames, too much all of this, trying to get a relationship to a certain point, and they just backed off. And so a lot of you may have done that. Or the other way can be true too. You may have gone on and kicked it all in, the whole 9 yards, and trying to get that happy home. The solar plexus, the I can with the 7 of coins on top, whatever you decided to do, however that resonated with you, trying to nurture, you tried to nurture, and depending on where you are with this, it either worked or it didn't work. It's pretty much that clear cut. So whichever storyline you're on, but you put a lot of work into it, and you had that attitude, you knew you could do it. Now, the storyline can go in 50 different directions from there. Some of you stayed with someone, others of you left whoever it was, even though you put in a lot of time, even though you may have made a decision not to manipulate it, or to manipulate it, however it's resonating, because it can go either way. It either worked or it didn't work. So however that's resonating with you, if it's working, that brings you into your current energy. And so now, on the one hand, those of you that kept it, trying to work it out, trying to move, this is going to cause some disruption, and you're probably going through this now. If you're trying to move in together, if you're trying to move somewhere, if this is job related, if you decided where you were is no longer working, all the work you put into whatever position or job, and you want to move ahead, which also means moving out, moving on, away from wherever you are, here's your disruption. And here's everybody else's shit disrupting. can't get the movers to do what you need them to do. You can't get the job where you want it to be, so you got to go to it's everybody else's disruption, those building blocks in your life that have other people's hands in it. For whatever the reason, however you ended up, right now you're in just a state of disruption. A lot of you are trying to work through this. The Hermit card is another major card on the table. You're trying to work through this to either see it through or let it go. For those of you, this is your centerpiece and shit. What the hell? Whatever you do, there's these two storylines. Whatever you do, it's going to create a tower moment. So let's just take the whole situation in totality. Let's say you hooked up with your soulmate, soul flame, whatever, and you went through the whole thing. You've been working hard in the past to get it. It's causing some disruptions in your life, requiring you to take some time. It's going to create a tower moment. There's going to be some emotional loss. Even though you chose to stay with this person, some part of your life is getting ready to get pulled up. And that's just how life fucking works. I know. Soon as you get something good going on, here goes something else. That's the way the universe works. That's the way life is. And so your point here and your challenge is to know that whatever's being torn up, whatever emotional loss you're feeling, whether you chose to stay with the situation or leave the situation, you still get to come out with the tower moment. The point is to recognize the emotional loss for what it is. So let's just say you decided to get married, but in that it means you got to move 3 states away. You leaving all your whole crew. You leaving your whole crew, not just half of it. You know, you might have 2 or 3 crew members in the surrounding states where you move. No, none of that. Your whole crew is going to be left either back west, back east, up north, down south, and you going somewhere else. There's some emotional loss there. You need to go ahead and process that. If you're moving away from your family, it's the same thing. For those of you that are going in the opposite direction, you didn't keep the relationship and you're just trying to move forward, you got disruption, it's still the emotional loss of not getting what you want. Even though you know you're going to end up with something else, it's still, you have to reckon yourself to the fact that you didn't get what you wanted to get, and dealing with that emotional loss in a way that it still leaves you open to rebuild. And that tower, you can tear up some shit, but what do you rebuild? How do you rebuild? Can you rebuild? That's where that energy is. That, for a lot of you, is probably going to be your focus throughout this month to the end of the year. Whatever the emotional loss is. And it, like I said, in some cases, it'll be a good deal on the one hand. On the other hand, just sucks all to hell because you're having to walk away from something. And you really are having your foundation torn up. For some reason, young people, this is resonating for people that are in their 20s and 30s. So whatever decisions you've decided to make, it brings you up to the current energy. Be ready to deal with the emotional loss, but be able to do it in a, I want to say mature, and I guess that's the word I need to use, mature. Do it in a mature manner. That's your challenge, to deal with the emotional loss without losing your balance, without losing your good common sense, and just taking the emotional loss, the tower moment, whatever it is, as it is, and being able to move forward. At the end of all of this, when all of it settles down, you get to the patience and planning. And for a lot of you, for me, this card represents the material world, the patience and planning. So, okay, you got married, you've done the honeymoon, now we got to wait on the paperwork for the house. That kind of energy, that type of patience. Or you decided you're going to hook up, you decided you're going to get married next year. That kind of patience, that type of planning. At either rate, however that's resonating with you, whatever the patience and planning part of it is, it will come with some quick and fast communication. Period. In a discussion. And it will be very directed and very focused on whatever it is that you're trying to plan. So there's hope behind all this disruption and emotional loss and tower shit. Just know that. Don't feel like it's the end of the world for a lot of you stepping away from your family for the first time, or stepping away from your crew for the first time. That's some big shit. That's some big shit. I remember the first time I was away from my posse, my crew. The first time I thought I was going to lose my damn mind. Because the people I was so used to interacting with, the calling on the phone, they were right there. This is before cell phones and computers and shit. It was rough. It was rough. Had I had Skype or Instagram or some of the things that we have access to now, my life would have been so much easier. But on the other hand, I have to admit that built some character. So just know as you're walking away from situations to walk into new situations, all that hurt and pain and all the abrasions and bruises build character, and it will come tenfold to you when you need it. In your future energy, the 8 of coins sitting on top of the hope card. You've done all the preparation and shit you can do. You know as much as you can know. Best thing you can do is have hope for the future and know that whatever decision you've made this year, this month, last 2 or 3 weeks, last 2 or 3 months, however that's resonating with you, just know there's hope there, and you've done all that. You ready. You're not missing anything. You're not lacking anything. You're as prepared as you can be to get whatever the next step is done. And with it sitting on top of the hope card, that's not a bad combination. Not at all. Next to that, spiritual strength with the wheel of fortune. When the wheel gets done turning, there are going to be some situations for some of you. I know I'm dealing with one now. You've got a terminally ill family member. And, you know, I thought the wheel of fortune in my life had just stopped like 2 seconds ago. The sucker's still turning. But I know the changes that this situation will bring about for me going to require my spiritual strength. So I'm going to say the same thing to you. If you have situations going on in your personal life, you have people that are sick, maybe you're sick, however that's resonating, just know there's spiritual strength for you there to rely on. You got it. You just got to know you got it. It's just that simple. But the wheel of fortune, as much as it brings the good, it does bring the bad. And so, you know, and that is sitting underneath the tower and the emotional loss is no mistake. Don't get that part twisted. For some of you, and I'm not one of these readers that hides this kind of shit, you may have some people transitioning out of your life. It may be time for them to pass on, move on to the next realm, however that's resonating with you. The point is, once again, with the emotional loss here, is to deal with your emotions in a mature manner and not to just let this shake up your whole thing. Because you've worked hard this year, Taurus. Don't think you haven't. Don't think you haven't. Even those of you that communicate with me regularly, I notice a change. We're all growing. The big shit happening. So just know there's hope. Whatever you're doing, there's hope. And with the pain, what the fuck? You can't get no good shit with it. Just don't happen that way. So don't feel like it's the end of the world. Yeah, you got that new job, but yeah, that means you're going to have to leave some folks behind. Or yeah, you said yes to the dress, but you're going to have to leave the family mess behind. I'm just saying. Just know, it is what it is. You're still going to have some spiritual strength to deal with those things that are emotionally on the weaker end of the spectrum. At the end of all of this, we're back to the fucking waiting game. But this is different, and the energy to this is different. By the time you get to this energy, which will take you out to the 2nd or 3rd week of January maybe, for those that it's resonating with, this is a different waiting. This is not, waiting to see what's behind door number 1, door number 2, or door number 3. You have already made decisions at this point. And if you listen to the weekly I just did yesterday for Taurus, there's the judgment card popped up. There's a point of decision making for a lot of you. So this waiting is not about what am I doing or which one am I going to pick. This is I've already picked. Now I just gotta wait for some shit to get right. I need some leases to expire. Hello. Maybe a car note to be paid off. Maybe, if you're that fortunate, a student loan to be paid off, so we can move to the next level. And the energy, there's options here. So that this is sitting on top of this is telling me there's options. And whatever option you decide, it's going to be some, just like a brand new car. You can't just roll up off the showroom floor, because you know they got to put some mats in and vacuum the back seat and throw some wax on the hood, you know. So it's that kind of waiting. It's not the unknown waiting. It's just now waiting on shit just to get finalized and packaged up and shipped out the door. You know what you got coming. You know what you've asked for. You know what you've chosen. Them options, they're there. Once you make that decision, you'll see where this waiting game comes into play. Okay, we decided we're gonna date, but gotta wait till shifts change, because he works days and I work nights, and they're not gonna change to the end of February. However that's resonating with you, it can be anything, but you'll know it won't be this unknown, trapped in fear kind of energy where you just are looking up at the sky trying to figure out what the fuck. Nuh-uh. You'll know, and it'll just be a matter of waiting for whatever little piece of it to be done. Let's see what the oracles have for Taurus for the end of year read. It's no reason to be anxious, Taurus. I know y'all about ready to fall out your chairs because you know shit's happening. It's just moving so slow. But there's no reason to be anxious. And actually that's not serving your better purpose. So as often as you can, whatever it is that you do that helps you relax, whatever that is for you, however that's resonating, it could be snoring loudly, it could be smoking a cigarette, it could just be standing outside. However it resonates with you. Whatever it is you do that helps you relax, do that. Do that. I have a friend who has one of those little rock waterfall things, a little bowl thing. And when she gets just totally depleted, she'll sit in her living room, lights out, and just listen to the water in that little rock garden thing she's got. And she says it does wonders for her, just in her overall level of anxiety. Just cools her out. So whatever that is for you, Taurus, find it if you're still feeling anxious, because you don't want to roll into the new year just a bundle of nerves. That ain't cool. All right, oracles, accept the gifts of the universe. You're the boss. Get a new story. Expect the best. Exercise your vibes. What is this? Mentors and role models. I'm going to leave that there. Those of you where that's resonating in what I hear, those of you that are embarking on educational or professional new shit, getting a promotion, going back to school, find these folks. Find these folks to do what you do or are doing what you're trying to do. And for the new year, try to set up a networking thing where you can just get input. The sun and the moon. You go through a couple cycles of the sun and the moon. You can go 3 or 4 months, set up something where you can meet with somebody. Maybe for breakfast on Saturday or coffee on Sunday, and just exchange ideas or let them know kind of where you are in terms of your bigger goals. Entrepreneurs, this is for you as well. You're the boss. Whatever you decide to choose wisely about. Dun, 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 dun. At the end of it, you're the boss. So there's no bad decision. There's no big decision. There's no little decision. There's just the decision that you, as the boss, are making. Period. So if you're choosing Johnny over Joey, you the boss. Period. Picking Susie over Stephanie, you the boss. You can do that. I'm just saying. So just know that you are in the driver's seat. This is your life, Taurus. Fuck it all. Shit. It's nobody else's but yours. They're your shoes. You walking in them. Ain't nobody offering to walk in your shoes for a couple hours here and there. No, you. So in knowing that, know that you're the boss. And you got this. Expect the best. Damn hope card down here. Expect the best. You need to put in a lot of work to get here. Expect the best. Accept the gifts of the universe. Those of you dealing with the oddballs. Like, I would never talk to you. I didn't know we had so much chemistry. Accept the gifts of the universe. A lot of y'all are stuck on, he didn't look right. She didn't look right. Well, Accept the gifts of the universe. I just read something not even an hour ago. Souls don't go by looks. They go by vibes. Hello. So I'm going to throw the rest of that on there. Accept the gifts of the universe. Sometimes we overlook good people because they don't look good to us. Well, you know what? If we were on another planet and people didn't have noses, we'd look right funny to them. I'm just saying. Accept the gifts of the universe. Exercise your vibes. Use your intuition. Decision-making time. Choose wisely. The Hermit card sitting up here. Take some time. Take some damn time and make some good decisions despite the disruption your decision may cause. Hello. Despite the disruption that may be going on around you that really don't have shit to do with you, but it's happening anyway. Or the chaos and confusion that's going on around you because of you. However, exercise your vibes. Use your intuition. Let your intuition guide you to where you're trying to go. Let the universe know where you're trying to go. You're going to go a step further. Get a pen and a journal and start writing down your goals so you can see something in writing and give it some meaning and validity. Exercise your vibes. Use your intuition. Those of y'all trying to be stuck on 2019 about how god awful it's been and oh my God and help me and this was just awful and get a new damn story, okay? You got a new year coming up. Do not schlep 2019 energy in with the new year. Just don't do it. Get a new story. Talk about something else. Write a book if it's all that. You can't think of nothing else. You come up with something to talk about. But get a new story. And for some reason, it just feels like a lot of people need to hear this because we are so pinned to, because that's a story we've been telling for so long. You know what? Damn it, drop that shit. Tell a lie if it's all of that. Oh, I just bought a new Mercedes. Okay, everybody know you ain't bought no Mercedes, but get a new story. That's the only way you're going to get new energy into your life. I love you, Taurus. I hope your month of December is beautiful. I hope everybody has a good rest of the week. I will talk to y'all soon. Bye, y'all.